a company that, we've talked about a lot, Nvidia, all-time high right now, currently.
Yeah.
Nvidia is back at an all-time high. If you're invested in Nvidia, put some fire in chat.
Yeah, put some fire in chat. Get some pandas in chat and some fire in chat.
Oh my. Yo, it's interesting. Last week, I think Shadi posed a question. There's all this noise around Nvidia, and they might not be able to sell to China. And I think, like, what should we do? Block out the noise. It's a distraction. But then everybody, the next day was, hey, then China is saying they're not going to allow Nvidia to sell chips. And you saw a downtick down to like 270. And we're like, don't pay attention. It's a distraction. Yes, it hurts the business. It's not their only business. And then, boom, Monday happens, and here we are again, all-time high.
And it's really a great negotiation tactic on the part of China to say we're going to invest into our ecosystem, as they should, but at some point they'll come to an agreement on a deal. And this is the part about when you create a moat for a brand, the main tenet has to be, is the product or service better? There isn't a company on earth right now that can say, I can make a chip that is comparable or better to Nvidia. It's Nvidia than everyone else. Remember DeepSeek when it was supposed to be the great Nvidia killer? We're not there yet. We're not there.
Meanwhile, they were buying their GPUs. Now it's Alibaba and it's Baidu. And these companies are prominent companies, like big companies in China. Yeah, it's just not there yet.
So the latest thing that made Nvidia pop was they announced that they're going to invest $100 billion in strategic partnership with OpenAI.
My God.
OpenAI getting all the money right now. I'm all over. So Nvidia has announced plans to invest up to $100 billion in OpenAI as part of a strategic partnership focused on building large-scale data centers powered by Nvidia's AI processors. OpenAI intends to deploy Nvidia systems requiring 10 gigawatts of power, which Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang equated to between 4 million and 5 million GPUs. The initial $10 billion investment is planned for deployment upon completion of the first gigawatt of infrastructure, with the additional investments following based on future valuations. So OpenAI partnership with Nvidia, $100 billion pipeline. Nvidia's stock is at an all-time high. Sam Altman running around.
With the exception of LeBron James, have we ever had a better rollout of who is next? They're telling you who is next. He's next to Trump. Notice even Apple hasn't been permitted to do a partnership like with OpenAI, but Nvidia has. Nvidia is putting on a masterclass in hedging and how to handle geopolitics. OpenAI is being set up to get all the infrastructure run correctly. So when they do IPO, that American hedge funds and business can attach their future returns to OpenAI, because equities need an instrument that can get higher returns or almost as high as Bitcoin. Apple can't do that. OpenAI potentially can. All the signs are there. And I told you a partnership with them would come. If I made you money, please put yes in chat.
And there's more money to be made. I'm going to go through a little math lesson. So if you're listening live, take out a pen, take out a pad, because a lot was said just now. I want to unpack it for people so they can have a clear understanding when we're talking about potentially the greatest company that we've seen in our lifetime.
Absolutely.
And will be leading for the next 5 years. So Jensen said that the 10 gigawatts, let's just break down what that is. So a gigawatt is a unit of energy, right? So that is the energy that is going to be needed. And for everybody in EYLU, our next class, make sure y'all tune in. I'll be breaking down the next energy play. 10 gigawatts of energy, right? Which is equal to between 4 to 5 million GPUs. Whose GPUs? Nvidia's GPUs. Now, that sounds like a lot, but the money that it takes to get those GPUs is even more impressive, because Nvidia's GPUs, in fact, Blackwell, they range between 30,000 to 40,000 per GPU. That's 4 million times 30,000. You do the math on that. Hold that number, though, after you do the math, all right? In August, Jensen told investors on an earnings call that building 1 gigawatt of a data center capacity costs about $50 billion to $60 billion. we'll take the low end, right? So to build 1 gigawatt, that unit of energy is going to take 50 to 60 billion. Of that 50 to 60 billion, 35 billion of that goes to Nvidia's chips. So you're building the data center, right?
Say that one more time.
Right. So you're building the data center, 1 gigawatt of energy, right? It costs 50 to 60 billion. Of that 50 to 60, 35 billion of that cost go to Nvidia's chips and systems.
Come on, yo.
1 gigawatt. Let's break that down. So if you got 1 gigawatt, let's take the low end number. That's $50 billion, 1 gigawatt. They're saying that they're going to build a 10 gigawatt system with OpenAI. That is the equivalent of $500 billion, of which is going to be spent on Nvidia's GPUs. That means that they're going to spend half of that, right? If we say about half, a little bit more, 250 to 300 billion is going to be spent with Nvidia. Now that sounds like, well, that's a really large number. But what's important to know about Nvidia is its profit margin. We always talk about profit margin. But it's important to know the profit margin, right? So if the spend is 300 billion, Nvidia's profit margin is 51%.
And it's an interesting point. As they scale, they keep projecting that they may find ways to increase profit margin by 3 and 4%.
This deal alone, right, on the low end, if the 51% profit margin on 250 to 300, they're going to make, or they made, $170 billion in revenue off this deal today.
Yep. And net income margins may get up to 56.4% while having a moat. So when we talk about, I always say you want to invest in the companies that move the GDP of America, meaning which company is so great that it has the potential to knock up revenue for America to get us out of debt. Nvidia is that lead company. Headguard out of Silicon Valley, Nvidia.
The scary part is this, Ian, and everybody listening. This is just the OpenAI deal.
Yes.
That's just one deal.
So the question is, okay, Nvidia, and then the stock market in general. Stocks are very high right now. So, what?
I would argue that Nvidia is still undervalued. At 163,
I'm just saying that a lot of stocks are at their all-time high right now.
This is true.
A lot of stocks are at their all-time high.
It's true.
So, what's the advice for people that have money that want to start investing, but they don't necessarily want to they don't want to invest at the top?
Don't invest at the top, but more importantly than investing at the top is horizon in which you hold. So if you hold for 5-year period, 7-year period, I know you get tired of me saying that, but it doesn't change the truth. You'll be okay. 168.84 is a level that I like Nvidia. If it falls back there, I would invest at that price, and then I will load up and get as many shares as I can. The issue is, like, when we have moments like April, there's too much pessimism around if I should invest. And from that time in April, remember when I was like, 98, 93, and it got there. Now we are at 183. You have to load the boat when asymmetric risk to reward ratio presents itself. And then if you're holding for a 5-year period, we are A-okay. If you're in Red Panda and you made money, or if you made money off Nvidia, listen to Market Mondays, what percentage are you up? Put it in the chat. So if you don't want to invest at a high, wait until it drops back to that price, and then you'll be A-okay. But look to hold for a 3 or 4 year period, and everything will be fine. My 4-year price, we should be at 290, 288, and I think even at that price, Nvidia is still incredibly undervalued.
Yeah, somebody asked, why didn't it move like Oracle? Well, Oracle had a projection of a $1,200% increase, right, with the forward projections. You got to understand that Nvidia is a $4.5 trillion company, and Oracle is not even a $1 trillion company yet. It's on pace. It will be there. I firmly believe that. It'll be the next $1 trillion company. It hasn't gotten there.
You just missed the move, respectfully.
Right. It did. Exactly. Right. When we were saying this I don't know how many years.
22. I talked about in 21, 22. Shout out to Edwin. Talked about it in a Rolling Out article in 2017. Exactly. On the show, we have talked about Nvidia, the ecosystem, the importance of AI, automation, And I get it. Sometimes you'll miss out on a move and not be aware. But this is why I say a lot of times, especially to our community, when they're pumping out noise about back in the day, GameStop, AMC, like the companies that are not going to move the world, they're doing it to use us as liquidity. Meanwhile, the companies, like we talk about it later, they're companies that are just executing quietly and being better. And Nvidia is one of them. They went from $10.81 adjusted for split to now at $183.61. And keep investing into quality companies. Yeah. If you want to have a proxy investment into OpenAI while they still have their marriage going strong, invest in Microsoft. I told you about Oracle, Apple. Like it's not that many great companies to even invest in to have this much divergence about what to invest in.
Linwood, I'm going to answer your question maybe a little bit later because we know tomorrow Micron will be reporting. I'll get to that before we leave here tonight. I got you. You. Yeah, but we said this. We said Nvidia was undervalued. Obviously, we watched it go up to over 1,000 and split 10-1, like you said. We've said this about TSM when it was 93. It's undervalued. We said this about ASML. Are we just not going? Like, we said this.
TSM probably is the most undervalued stock in the last 10 years, given the geopolitical issues. Like if they didn't have a geopolitical issue, they would have been Nvidia.
For sure. They're needed. And I told you, even in the ecosystem, it's interesting how these things are playing out. Like, I think that's what this show is that important. It really is that important. We literally broke down and spoke about ASML last week, and now analysts have said they raised their price target and they talk. But we've been telling that to everybody. And now it's over $970, $63, something like that. And they're like, oh, man, when should we get in?
Put it in chat. You only need 4. Can I ask y'all from a media standpoint? Most networks, how many amazing shows can you have on a network that actually move? Like, if you look at the history of CBS, MTV, BET, Netflix, Paramount, there's a cap on alpha returns in any genre. You only need 4 great companies.
Man.
You could build an empire just off investing in 4 amazing companies if you don't deviate from them.
Yo, can we put a fire in chat for Calvin? Calvin is up 1,800% on Nvidia. 1,800%.
Let's go.
Oh, my. Shout out to you, Calvin.
Somebody asked what's up with PayPal. PayPal is not an amazing company. They are a good company that had the best of years behind them, but is PayPal better than Bitcoin, JP Morgan?
Well,
all the all-stars left.
Can I ask y'all a question? Because I know how y'all going to answer it. Tito said, what's the next one?
Nvidia. There's only one Jordan. There's only one LeBron. There's one Brady. There's only one Rashad Bilal. There's only one Troy Miller. There's only one Ian Dunlap. The one that's here is one Patrick Mahomes, even though they got off to a slow start. One Jalen Hurts. There is no next one.
It's here. It's here. We talked about projections where it's headed.
Yeah. Watching Nvidia now has to be what people felt like in the 90s investing in Microsoft. Nvidia is right on the edge of being a monopoly, but made the investment into Intel and others. Partnerships in play and good relationship with president. They'll be fine. And Jensen is loved amongst the legal community as well. This is the closest thing you're going to get to a monopoly. There is no other. There's no other. Sometimes it's the moment, like, and we're here.
Yeah, we're here. And it's here. And Rel, shout out to Rel. He said, let's talk about quantum. We spoke about quantum when it was, quantum's having a moment. We can't, and we shouldn't run from that. Quantum is having a moment. If you looked at a lot of the quantum stocks, I know IONQ has had a run. I told everybody the only one that I really like, because I like to have ones that companies that have not a moat, but they service across the entire energy. Rigetti, which was RGTI. Yeah. It's having a moment. But I think those stocks are running right now. I think we're still too early. But they are running. If people are making money trading that, congratulations to you.
Good trade, not a great investment right now.
Same with Open Door. You just said, I was just going to say that, man. Thank you.
Great minds.
Yes, sir.